Okay, fuckers and fuckettes, you got yourself a classic, and this one is an 80s, so I could say 80s, but you got yourself a classic bike. It's got a 12-volt electrical system. You don't like that fucking stock speedometer. You want yourself a GPS so you can find the motel that little hottie's staying at and shit. Well, looky here. Don't go drilling on this shit. Leave that alone in case you ever decide to sell the bike. Keep all your other shit, your little bucket for the Speedo and all that. This ain't nothing but a piece of Home Depot aluminum I've bent around. And this right here is actually the guts out of one of these Garmin bag mounts. Okay? Now what I do, before I put this together, I take some of this shit here. It's called liquid metal filler. It's made by Permatex. It's pretty good shit. I just gobbed that on. Don't be cheap with the shit. Make it look like a big old turd on there. Okay? Now that's gobbed on. I'm going to put my cap on this shit. I'm going to grab a rag, because when I squeeze this together it's going to make a mess, but it's going to be underneath. It ain't going to fuck up my mount. Alright. Now, I got my rag ready. I put this piece on this piece. I come over here. Got a nut for it here somewhere. Right here. Now that's actually the stock nut. Now the reason for the epoxy between the two layers is that gives it some extra strength there, and it's gonna need it. And this bike will hit 163 mile an hour in a fucking quarter, so it's gonna need it. Now that's partially on. If I bent that right, I'll have my GPS sitting right in there about when I tighten it. I'm going to have to bend it just a little bit more, but that gives you the idea this shit can be done. And it's not that hard to do. Anyway, oh yeah, these Garmin cables, pretty much across the board, but you're going to want to check on the internet and check your schematics, but pretty much across the board, when you strip these Garmin cables back, you got a red and a black wire. That's your hot and your ground. These other four wires, this orange, green, brown, and white, those are for the speaker and for the volume control for the speaker. You can leave them off, or you can rig your speaker somewhere else. I think I got that sumbitch laying up there. I'm just going to throw it in the trash, because I don't need that bitch telling me I'm going over the posted speed limit. I know that to begin with. But now when you wire these in, steal one of your original bulb sockets. Cut you off a good length to where you can still put the bulb socket back on later, and just solder your hot and your ground in there. Green is ground on this one. Always check your schematic for your bike. I know that my brown and white is hot on this one. That way when the key's on, I got power to the GPS. And the shit works wonderful. But I'm going to strip this wire back and get it a little bit tighter and make it look prettier. And as you can see, that sucker ain't going to look all that bad once it's in there. And I can turn it and all that shit. I just got to adjust it. But there you go. That is how you put a Garmin GPS or any other GPS. Well, okay, Garmin for sure. I mean, what's the point of living in 2010 if you gonna fucking have a 1980 speedometer that don't tell you how to get to the bitch's house? Anyway, holler at y'all fuckers and fuckettes later. I just figured I'd share how to do that with you.